Thanks for your time, Gerardo. When we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am, it's funny for me to say this, I am Dr. Gerardo Gauthier-Zayas, a recent graduate of New England College doctoral program. I am currently CEO and founder of Avant Consulting and Training. I do that mostly part-time, and the other parts of my time, I actually do a lot of teaching in program review and program development among higher education and nonprofits. I've been really filling my plate up with a lot of initiatives around diversity, equity, inclusion, regarding audits, climate surveys, and really trying to work with organizations to kind of try to understand what's the importance of a baseline regarding those pieces. And it's not only the DEI, but it's the DEI plus how leadership utilizes, defines, and kind of creates a culture of true, the trifecta or the Trinity effect of understanding those three are important. Yes, individually they stand, but together it's much stronger, more robust for an organization. So most of my time I've been spending doing that. And one day when I grow up, I will definitely decide what I want to do. In the meantime, I've been doing a little bit of writing, a lot of writing actually, which is new for me. And I'll go into that when we get to the question about how the program has changed my life.
Great, thanks. So tell us a little bit about your experience in the doctoral program at NEC.
Sure. So for me, now I've had a bout of imposter syndrome. And I think for me, coming into the program, it was pleasantly surprising when I was accepted. And for me, my experience in the program, if I had to kind of summarize it, was transformational for me with regards to my confidence in where I was with my ability to say that, oh, I know how to research versus I play in research. Now I'm like, okay, I can actually don the name researcher because I've walked that walk and will continue to do so working with organizations. I think for me, the program helped me build that confidence and to really quell the imposter syndrome. Is it gone? Absolutely not. But has it helped me kind of really keep it in check? Absolutely. Right. So I think for me, that's a huge part of how NEC has helped me grow as an individual, my confidence, my professionalism. I think for me, the cohort model is an amazing model. So that experience really did help me out because what it did, it created a village for me, created a village of safe space among my peers who were in the program, whether it was part of the higher education track or the pre-K through 12 track. It really created this village of we are all in it, we are all struggling, and we are all kind of more mindful of each other and respect each other. So I think NEC really did help me kind of come into that. I wasn't sure where it was going to lead me, considering that I'm a first generation college student. I don't have anybody in my family that's a doctor of any kind. I come from humble beginnings. So even at the onset of thinking about applying to the program, getting accepted and living the program, it truly has been beneficial for my skill sets, my confidence that I just didn't kind of, not that I didn't believe, I just kind of felt that it wasn't confident enough. And that's always a continuous thing. But I think NEC has really provided me with a strong core to kind of build on that now, as opposed to not understanding what to do prior to.
Yeah. And you touched on this a little bit, but can you talk about what, some of the specific strengths of the program?
Sure. Yeah, definitely the cohort model is one, these are all ones, right? 1A, 1B, 1C. So the cohort model really did help me keep my hands to the fire. I think that was an incredible strength for me. The encouragement that I received, the peer reviews, just the perceptions of my peers and the diversity of where we come from as far as our backgrounds, our professionalism, our titles, what we do. I think I learned a lot because I've been in higher education for a little bit, but it wasn't something that I planned. I kind of tripped into higher education. And I think being with the cohort of peers that actually have like careers, like much longer term careers than I had at this point, that was really helpful for me because I was able to learn not just within the class and the texts and the materials, but the experiences of my peers. So to me, that was a big impact for me. The other piece is support and respect that I received from faculty, from yourself as well. And I think that the big piece is understanding that there's this thing called life that was beyond the classroom. And it was always considered when something had come up. I know the last few years have been tough with me and my family matters. I'm losing my parents. I had both parents at the beginning of the program, and I lost my mom a month after the program. So that was a big thing. And I think just having people to hear me and respect that this is going on in my life was huge. And it really kept me going. I mean, I thought, like many, I'm assuming many doctoral students, that you get to a point in the program that you start questioning. And for me, I started questioning early on, before all the stuff happened with my family. So I think the support and respect that I received and actually being heard really made a difference for me, because it's like I wanted to do this for me and my family, but because people respected who I am, that gave me a different sense of a deeper understanding of, I want to make sure that I'm doing right, not just for me, but for the individuals who believe in me, even though sometimes I didn't believe in myself. So I think it was just really living up to the expectations of people. Saw these things, the faculty really saw that much clearer than I could at times. So that was a huge, those are two big strengths of the program for me.
Okay. Now, you talked about this a little bit as well, but thinking about who you were as a person, as a professional before starting the program, and you've been in the workforce for a long time, so it's not like this was the beginning of your professional career, and to where you ended up. And how has that program kind of changed you, or how have you changed the program, and how has that impacted the work that you're doing right now?
Sure. So for me, I think the way the program is built, as far as the curriculum, the content, how it's stackable, how it's intense, but one leads into the other. I think for me, that was a huge part of the program that I wasn't expecting. I mean, you read about it, and then sometimes you read about these types of things, and then you live through it, and sometimes it's not a match. Sometimes there's a misalignment. And I kind of felt with this program, it truly was aligned all the way through from beginning to end. And doing so is, from learning each of those parts, each course, I was actively able to apply what I was learning in the workforce. And whether it was in higher education or any other industry sectors. I worked in healthcare sectors, I worked in nonprofit and government sectors, and I still do with the consultant piece. But for me, it was like a universal application of other industry sectors that I was able to take what was being offered to me in my learning journey. I think for me, that was a huge part of the program that helped build with that confidence I just talked about, right? That it kind of felt like, okay, this concept, you know it, and it's just been affirmed, or you know what, this concept is new. And now I've been told and taught, this is this concept, this is this theory, how to effectively take this and apply it into action. So I think for me, that's a big part of the program that was beneficial to me.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share about the doctoral program at NEC?
Sure. I think a couple things. I mean, and I'm a graduate of the hybrid model, right? It was a hybrid model, COVID came and then it became online, and that's okay. But I want to talk a little bit about the differences. I think because this cohort that I was in, and had the unique experience of experiencing both, right? And I think there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons. I think there's pros and cons, meaning the hybrid model is amazing because it helped build community. It established, again, that confidence. It really did build bridges between the knowns and the unknowns with regards to your skill set, your knowledge, the workforce itself. You got to build that camaraderie between your classmates in that hybrid model. Yes, you did it online in the courses, but those weekends when we came together, it was an amazing experience because it was our turn to kind of really focus on just our program and just on what we were doing. So I commend the program for really having that type of model to really say, you have this space that we're going to give for you and your experience. And I want to say thank you for that, because I'm not sure, could that have been done on online? Sure, but differently. And I think that pivoting to online, demonstrated the nimbleness of the program to be able to kind of say, we have to pivot without, in my opinion, without really losing the quality of the educational process. And being able to, again, learn what I applied, bring it back into the classroom to really kind of dissect it a little bit deeper than I would have otherwise.